No, y'all motherfuckers. y'all eat my shit.
Oh, Jesus, Yoda. All right, calm
Now
down.
pass me that motherfucking beer. We gonna huff some fumes, Yoder. Yeah. 900 years you hang around, you get high as a kite. Hey, what's up, Yoda? What's going on? I gotta go train a Jedi. He's young. Too old for the training, though. I love Hillbilly Yoda.
And just like that, like a Leviathan that can have his balls cut off and come back from the dead. You can't put down a good night attack happening live on the air right now every Tuesday night. Hello, beautiful people. From Austin, Texas, I'm Brian Brushwood. Unflappable, unstoppable, unshittable. Joined from D.C. till he DIEs, Mr. Justin Robert Young. What's going on, man?
Oh, Brian, you want to know where I am?
You're in Diamond Club land. You're in D.C., right?
I'm in the District of Columbia.
Oh,
or
well, that's...
as I like to call it for the first time ever, America's slippery democracy hole, for which I'm plumbing with my fingers.
So, are you kicking it double digits inside of America's democracy hole?
Oh, dude. I do, and then here's the key, right? You got to curve your fingers up to get extra democracy action.
Okay.
That's where the pleasure comes
But
in.
see, now I would think that it would be like you want to spread your fingers to like prepare for ultimate democracy.
Brian, I don't think we're ready just yet.
All right, for
We haven't
ultimate
moved that stage
democracy.
in our relationship, but you want to know where we have moved in our relationship?
Where have we moved, sir?
Next show tonight. Not only are we on the show, but we have the return of Sarah Lane. I mean, is it safe to say, has it been the same for you that the feedback is that problem solvers, like people could not be more excited for problem solvers being
All
here?
right, I don't want to frame this in a negative light, but I'm pretty sure if the entire show was just Sarah Lane doing problem solvers, I think most of chat realm would be okay. They'd be all like, thank you. I'm glad you got rid of those two assholes, and
See,
now
that's
we've
the
got
thing.
what we want.
Like the self-deprecating thing would be to say that they would not notice, but I don't think that's true. They would notice and rejoice, and
Yes.
they would tear our statues down like a liberated country whose
They're like,
dictator has fallen.
Finally, the tyranny of the self-important douchebags is over.
We're also going to have some very important scientific analysis here on the show. We're going to prove that correlation does, in fact, always equal causation.
100%.
Contrary to some hand-wringing panty wastes on the internet who would like to say otherwise.
Exactly, man. But first, I feel like we have to start off talking about current events, right? I feel like you and I need to get our game straight. We need to talk about Look, a lot of people rely on us to be the lens through which they see the world, and if we don't give them what's happening on the outside world, we're like Morgan Freeman. Lying about what's outside the window. I think I'm mixing like 5 different movies and metaphors.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing, but I really hope that you mixed Morgan Freeman up with another black guy.
No. I think I'm thinking of like an old sermon where there's a dude who's sick and another dude who talks to him about all the awesome shit happening out the window at the hospital. And then there's like, the guy's like dying and he's having a heart attack and he goes to ring the bell, but then he realizes, oh shit, this geezer dies. I get to see what's out the window. And then he gets there and it turns out that everything that he heard described out the window was totally fake and a lie. And he realized like, oh, all I had was that guy's vision that he was selling me. Like we're that old geezer who's going to die someday.
I don't know if that could have been made less clear from the initial point in which you were just referencing a movie that may or may not exist, and then you had Morgan Freeman starring in it.
You haven't heard it? It's a Reader's Digest classic. All right, whatever.
Leave that encapsulated in Ember. Like,
It's fine.
You know, in Jurassic Park.
That's
Because
fine.
it's perfect.
All right. By the way, what's great is to see the delayed reaction of the.
What's getting your goat? Do you have a goat, and has it been stolen from you?
Sweet Jesus, do I have a goat? I'll tell you what, for those of you guys who aren't watching live, we got all the way into starting the show. We started like, 5-7 minutes late, and we got full on into it, like 5 minutes in, And we've had like storms in Austin. I don't know if it was on our end or on AT&T's end or whatever, but all of a sudden, like catastrophic, massive internet failure. And to the tune where it's like people had to use their LTE connections, and they're like, as if I'm saying that as if it's like a terrible last resort. No, people are having to tweet out like,
it's like that sermon where Morgan Freeman's in the hospital and he's like, but where will I get this LTE connection if not for this old man by the
all right,
window?
I'll tell you what. As long as we're talking about Morgan Freeman, I actually do have something going on in my life, which is that my 10-year-old daughter has discovered Zafrank's True Facts videos. Have you ever seen any of those?
I have not. No. What are
okay? You know what? Here, I'll just jump up and I'll show this. And I need to know. Let's see. Z Frank is very much an adult who speaks in adult terms, but he does these.
And Z Frank, I mean, safe to say, among the earliest settlers on the viral video frontier. Z Frank's thing a day will go down in the annals of history as way ahead of its time.
So what he does an impression and of Morgan Freeman as he does, he tells true facts, and man, like you could tell my 10-year-old Penelope is freaking studying this. Like it's she the most attention she's paid to anything. Here, watch this kind of crap. Let's see if we can get any of it to play. Go. And go. And it's going smooth as butter, Justin. Everything's great. Everything's great. We're all fine here.
This actually reminds me of that one mini-series where Morgan Freeman's by a YouTube video, and he's trying to tell some other guy, hey, this YouTube video is going to play.
And he keeps clicking like refresh, and then he decides, screw it, and so he opens up Firefox instead. Remember that dramatic part?
Oh, I remember that. That's my favorite part.
All right, Z Frank.
Now, where does she find Z Frank? Like, how does Z Frank come across?
She doesn't even know that it's Z Frank. She just knows that if she types in true facts and sees what comes up in YouTube, that she'll get something like this. Here we go.
Here are true facts about the cuttlefish. The cuttlefish is not a fish. It is a mollusk of the class Cephalopoda. The cuttlefish is a bit like a clam that millions of years ago came out of its shell and never went back. In fact, it still has a specialized shell, but on its inside, which is used for buoyancy and is called the cuttlebone. People for a long time have used this shell to carve casts for metal jewelry. These people are called cuttleboners. By me, and now by you.
So anyway, like that's what he does. He tells true facts about stuff from nature.
Lures you in with some possibly true facts, and then like throws in some laughs for everybody.
Exactly. But I'll tell you what, man, it's crazy because you watch Penelope and she's like studying, like in a way I've never seen her study stuff before. Like she's into learning how to be funny about that kind of stuff.
So she realizes that this is a joke, and she's probably repeating these jokes to people at school. Like, is that the level in which?
Well, I think, and that's the thing is, I think that she understands which parts are jokes and which parts are true, and I think that's what fascinates her about it. Like, and by the way, people in the chat are already saying like, well, the true facts about ducks horrified me, and this is where shit gets weird, is because he talks about like the twisted boners of ducks, and I'm watching my 10-year-old watch
dive to catch fish. Look at this Argentine ruddy duck. It has a 9-inch corkscrew penis. What, is that a joke? That's the kind of humor. Holy crap, what the hell? Only 3% of birds have penises, and the duck is part of that 3%. To understand a corkscrew penis, imagine a penis.
By the way, this is the entire video. It's 3 minutes of talking about a corkscrew penis.
About ducks' crazy dicks, right?
Right. And it's like the last thing I want to do is sensationalize the duck dick by making a big deal like it's Footloose, and I'm like, hey man, you're not gonna watch videos about duck dicks under this house.
No, and then meanwhile, she and all of her friends start getting together for duck dick parties, and fucking it's just a totally out of control
suck
duck
dick
culture that's
suck duck dick. Oh.
Now, here's what, like, So this is, I think from the tone of your voice, you seem like you're fairly comfortable with Zay Frank being the person, or this kind of humor at least being the gateway for her to get into, past the point where you will be able to, in any way watch over it, right?
All right, so this is no lie. I think what makes it okay is that he doesn't sensationalize the duck dick. Like, it's peripheral. The fact that the focus is on learning the science of these ducks, and then it's like every time they show a duck dick, he's like, oh my gosh. Like, for some reason that makes it okay to me. And it's like, I'm not afraid she's going to fall in love with duck dicks or anything. I don't know.
No. I mean, like, as we are all want to do at some point in our lives, of course, is the siren call of duck dicks becomes too much for us to bear as we find ourselves thinking day and night about the corkscrew majesty of ducks and their dicks.
I mean, maybe that's not all it is. Maybe there's something else to it.
Is shaped like a corkscrew. How does that help explain this? In fact, the corkscrew penis is only one half of a bizarre case of sexual coevolution. The other half is a female's corkscrew vagina.
I mean, listen, at what point does it become the problem for you, though? Like,
I don't know.
Is it when she's screaming about corkscrew vaginas?
Well, and it's like, it is. I think Penny's like genuinely fascinated by the evolution of this, and she wants to know the science, but she also understands, like, at the end of the day, butts are funny, and apparently now she's learning that corkscrew penises and vaginas are funny, which I don't know. I think I had figured that out around age 10, right? Is that?
Oh, God, yeah. Wait, what grade is she in?
She's in 4th grade, man. She's about to go into 5th grade.
Dude, 3rd grade is where butts and farts and dicks, that's where all that shit busts loose. Like, let loose the hounds of dick and butt and fart jokes at fucking
let loose the dick and fart butt jokes. All right. Well, I mean, tell me, as an outsider, is there boundaries that I should be setting for this stuff? Like, what's funny and what's creepy in this regard?
In fact, I think you should become the pastor from Footloose, right? So here's what you need to do. You need to set up a labyrinthian level in which you play multiple characters.
Yeah, so I need to get mustaches and goatees.
No. It does. You don't have to physically. You're just dad, right?
Okay. All right.
But then, like, maybe you just start seeding videos that, like, you have found funny. You're like, listen, none of these dirty jokes, none of these F words or C words or duck penises are available in this house, Missy, right? And you take the Patton Oswalt, like, the uncoolest dad in the world tact, right? Because that's the only way that you make his thing, and the only way you make well-adjusted kids.
I'm not sure where you're headed with this, but I'll follow you. I'm following you.
And then meanwhile, like, maybe there's just, like, she just happens to have like a pen pal in prison. There's just somebody who keeps, like, sending her links to like Richard Pryor routines or, like, other crazy viral videos.
Oh shit! Like, okay, all right. So you're not saying, like, now is it important that like I can't be the one to feed her this stuff because dad's not cool, therefore Richard Pryor can't be cool or whatever.
Yeah.
So instead, I'm like, I mean, do I have to be the footloose dad and be, like, all disapproving?
You do. In fact, we're going to try it out right now. You need to tell your daughter that this duck dick thing is not funny, and if she repeats it one more time...
I feel like I got to practice to get in this. All right, give me Yugi B. Penny. Go for it.
Okay. Duck dicks, duck dicks, duck dicks, duck dicks, duck dicks.
All right, Penny, that's enough. Your mother and I did not grow you up to shout duck dicks in this household. That's the last I want to hear about duck dicks.
Hold on. I listen, I don't want to note you so early, but grow you up? Are you in a lab? Like, did you feed her nutrient oil?
Okay,
like, come on,
right.
Up, like,
you're about to be decanted. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
We did not socially engineer you.
We did not culture you from stem cells for this.
All right, here we go. One more time. Here we go.
All right.
Duck dicks, duck dicks. Everyone loves the duck dick. Corkscrew,
Penny,
duck
Penny.
dicks. Eat them up, yum.
All right, Penelope, let me tell you something. Penelope, we didn't have no sex to make you be some kind of duck dick lover. Let me tell you something.
I'm sorry.
Shit. I was hoping that adding the southern drawl would make it more natural and not.
And also, you said we didn't have no sex. What kind of way to reprimand your child is to immediately go back to the act of conception? That should not be in vain.
I didn't want. It's after the previous note. I wanted to make it very clear that she was not.
Come in, my wife should not be held to this standard. Screaming about duck dicks. My cum is pure. An American cum. George Washington was made from.
I wanted to make it clear that she wasn't grown in a lab because I'm afraid she would have anxiety if she thought that was maybe what was going on.
All right, one more time and then we'll go right into the Patreon. You have one more shot at this. Here we go. Duck dicks, duck dicks, duck dicks, duck dicks.
Penelope, it's not appropriate to talk about duck dicks. Is that good? Is that all right?
Man, initially I was like, no. But then my body, like R. Kelly teaches us, was saying, yes! That was understated and poetry emotion, Brian Brushwood. And this is why you are a better father than I will ever hope to be. But you want to know what? We are both fathers when it comes to Patreon.
Well, I mean, we're also
gay dads getting paid for it, which kind of makes us gay dad prostitutes.
But also like gay brothers, right? Because like our parents are all our Patreons. That's why they both start with P. They call them pee-pee pals, and they say that we are pee-pee pals. Demand on you to make the comedy for us. And we say, thank you, pee-pee lords. And we go to patreon.com/nightattack, and we count every night before we go to bed. And this is a true fact. True facts about Brian and Justin is that they go to bed every night and they count the 1,473 or 57 people who make it possible for us to make a decent living doing something that we absolutely love, which is making you guys happy. Thank you guys so very much. Patreon.com/nightattack. I'll tell you what, man, last couple of weeks have been chock full of extra goodies, and we're so stoked to keep extra goodies coming to the folks who kick in a little bit of cash. We don't care if it's 1 penny. There's two numbers. One is the amount that you guys are donating or pledging, which is great. The one we care about is the patrons. We just want you join the club, man. Give us a penny per episode, and then you're cool like the rest of us.
Listen, we don't care how many pennies you can spare, as long as you understand it's not appropriate to be yelling about duck dicks in public.
Yeah, look, as your dad's sons, we're both. Hey man, lay off the duck dicks. All right, is that too weird?
I mean, come on. I really like that. That had like a Danny Tanner kind of English to it. It was a very like an empathetic. I almost feel like you should have dialed it up a little bit more fire and brimstone. But we can work on that as we go along. Of course, patreon.com/nightattack.
Yeah, man, that's the place to go. And the place I want to go right now is to bring in our special guest for the next segment. But I'm having difficulty finding her her Skype right now.
Well, I'll set up the bit while you figure that out. Ladies and gentlemen, every month we solve your problems in the only way we know how. By calling up Sarah Lane, she of Tech News Tonight on the Twit Network and good friend of this show for many years. You have sent us your problems throughout the day, and we are happy to bring to you Problem Solvers, the internet's only and #1 call-out advice show. We call your number, you say nothing, we yell advice, and then we hang up.
Yeah, man, I am in the middle of trying to make this happen, and I know that you double-checked with Miss Sarah Lane, and again, I'm going to blame everything on our catastrophic failure of communication that we just had.
Did you find her Skype?
Yeah, well, I thought I did, but it doesn't allow me to video call her. It just says I can call her phone, and then it says, when I click on it, it's like, well, give me your number. Prove you know her, bro. And I'm like, whoa, Skype, I didn't think that was how we were like. Let's do this.
I'll tell you what. We can go through some of the some of our problems for which we will probably not get into.
Yeah,
We've already
you know what?
selected-
Why don't you give us a list of rejected problem solvers? You get to explain to people what kind of questions we're not going to tolerate.
So here's one, and listen, these are not bad questions. These are just questions that we won't have a chance to get into. For example, dear Night Attack, I work as a freelance sound mixer in reality television in Atlanta. I love my job, but recently the calls have stopped, and I need help drum up some more work. Any advice on how I can get my name out there? Now, normally during the show, me, Brian, and Sarah would divvy up who restated the problem, who solved the problem, and who gave a witty rejoinder that normally rhymes at the end of it. And I don't know how we would handle this, but this would be an example of one of the questions that we would answer.
Yes, it would be. He says as he tries to type an email to Sarah Lane. What's another one, Justin?
The social media person for our podcast is at WWE SmackDown tonight and left me in charge of the Twitter account, but I don't know what to tweet. Help me. So we could give him maybe some examples of what to tweet. I mean, again, if you're thinking that's not very interesting, what I would say to you is that's why we're not going to do it on the show.
So screw you, jerk.
And then here we go. This is actually a really, really good one. I rent a room from my landlord where he lives in the house 2 to 3 times a week. He has property outside the city, which he stays at on the other nights. Recently, he said that we should be friends and talk during the same conversation. This German-born man, that they should be friends. And during the same conversation, this German-born man started bad-mouthing his ex-wife and told me that he had lost his teaching job at the college because, quote, that bitch of a dean wants me out. I don't want to be this man's friend and explain to him. I don't have time to meet with my current friends, let alone him. He waits for me to come and tries to hang out, but I blow him off. It's coming to the point when he hears me wake up, then he waits for me outside and surprises me and even cuts off the power in my room. What should I do? So, this is a very, very good...
Theoretically, what would you have said in that situation? Oh, Sarah Lane just got online. Thank goodness. That makes things a lot easier for everyone involved. Let me get Sarah Lane on the line, which means she should be answering in 3, 2, 1. Oh, my God. It's Sarah Lane. Whoa.
Wow.
Dude, wow, did you come in at just the right moment. Like Superman swooping in to save this bit. Thank you. This is perfect.
Sorry, I forgot to open up my Skype connection. I could see that would be problematic for you.
No, that's fine. We kept it total. I don't think anyone even noticed that you weren't on the show. That's how good we were.
Oh.
Totally smooth.
Well, I'm glad I pointed out my...
No, actually, what I mean is I'm really glad that you're back because we were totally in trouble. Let me test this thing right here. Yeah, all right, we're good. Okay, so let's do this. We have a dock open.
You know what? I think we should start off with the one. I didn't realize how good that one was until I actually just read it out loud. Sarah, let me read it back to you here. We've got a guy who is renting a room from his landlord, and the landlord, who only stays there 2 to 3 times a week, has cornered him when he is staying in the same building to becoming his best friend. He stops him outside of his door. He has taken to shutting off the guy's power to kind of smoke him out of his room so we can come talk to him. And apparently the conversations range from, I lost my teaching license because the dean hates me, and my ex-wife left me because I'm weird and German.
Dude, okay, so this guy is like manipulating like the living conditions of this dude to manipulate him as a fake friend into sympathizing with him over like nonsense crap that's his own fault.
Absolutely, and really, it's kind of buried the lead at the end. That this is word for word. It's coming to the point when he hears me wake up that he waits for me outside and surprises me, and even cuts off power in my room.
Okay, that's messed up, right?
So this dude is, and that's, I mean, like, that's almost, I mean, I don't know if that's criminal, but it should be. If there ain't a law, there should.
I believe a landlord cannot cut off your utilities.
Well, I mean, he can if you don't pay your bills, but he can't do it because he wants to hang out, bro.
you can't cut power so that he's like, oh, I got to go out into the hallway now.
And like, what kind of weird like Pavlov's dog response is it that like, oops, power's out, I better go talk to Heinrich?
Yeah, no, all right. Let's call this guy. How do you guys want to divvy up the response on this? Do any of you guys have a solution?
I can solve it.
You can solve it. All right. I'll restate a situation.
I can sum it up.
Okay, sounds great. Let's give this guy a call. Let's see what happens and see if I can find. Oh man, I really wish we had like a friggin' ringing tone.
And you guys had 2 months.
I know. Well, we don't have a service that does the thing that we want though.
Problem solver.
So you got a creeper of a landlord that wants to hang out and force you to be his BFF, doing creepy stuff.
Look that doe-eyed weirdo in the face and say, hey, Hitler, get out of Poland. Also, I'm Poland.
If all else fails, go like King Joffrey, purple wetting his ass.
Problem solved.
I'll tell you what, I feel like we're making solid contact.
I love the fact that your actual advice was tell him to stop metaphorically messing with Poland, and then Sarah's actual summary is like, no, murder him in order to make your problems go away.
Hey, it sounds like he's at the end of his rope. I want to be helpful.
All right, no, I understand. All right, let's move on to the next one. What are we doing next, Justin?
You want to know what? We're riding such a high. Let's keep the good times going with this problem. My wife of 10 years just left me on Easter for a former felon.
Oh, I'm sorry. You'll need to repeat that for me because I don't think I quite heard that correctly.
Okay? My wife of 10 years left me on Easter for a former felon, and now we're getting divorced. She says that her and the felon are getting married as soon as the divorce is final. I've got the kids at home with me, no job and no support to speak of. I haven't been able to find a job, and when I can finally find a way to get out and find someone new, I don't know if I'll be able to because I've really never dated. We were high school sweethearts.
Ah, geez, this started off so good, and it's just really going downhill now with self-doubt.
Fuck my life, he adds in commentary to your commentary. Can you guys offer advice or at least give me Ira Sockman's number because I'm also seeking legal counsel?
Ah, Jesus. Okay, this started off really strong, and then all of a sudden he got weak. So I feel like the answer is like fucking man up and fling shit at her door. Like do the flamin' poo thing I feel like he needs to do.
Well, Brian,
I don't know if that's going to make him happy, Brian.
It'll make me happy. That's all I care about. I want to see some malicious poo flinging.
You want to know what I feel? I don't know if we can trust Brian to solve the problem. I feel like he's a little bit too much of a rage candidate.
I could solve it. I'm feeling for this guy.
All right, well, Brian, you bring it to
a
colorful conclusion. I'll restate the problem.
All right, you got it, man. Let's give this guy a call right about now. It just would be much better if we had. It's not nearly as satisfying.
I'm starting to love it now. It's growing.
Really? All right. I don't know. It's so...
Problem solvers.
When your old lady of a decade left you for a former felon, and now your life and self-confidence are in shambles.
Here's the thing. She did it to you, but think about what you could do. Martha Stewart, Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, all felons themselves. Get yourself a nice chick out of the slammer.
Yeah, which means you need to fucking fling poo at her door.
Problem solved.
See, I mean, it's like
Justin was like, "I'm just gonna stand up and get myself a Coke." Well, you guys figure this out.
That's because he knew we had it under control, man. Justin ain't no fool. He knows what's up. All right, what's the next one, Justin?
You want to know what? It's spring. Love is in the air, which is what our caller on line number 12 has on his mind when he writes, I think we have a problem with with male prostitution in my neighborhood.
I'm sorry. Just reel that back. Just walk me through that again. Say it again.
I think we have a problem with male prostitution in my neighborhood. This morning, as I was getting into my car, I found what can only be described as ass prints on the hood of my car and a striped bow tie near the windshield. Looking around a little more, I spotted a used condom in the gutter and could smell the faintly erotic aroma of man love. My question is, what's up with the fucking bow tie? Thank you for your kind attention.
What is this guy? Gay Columbo? What is going on? What he's putting it all together from these pieces? I feel like
the smell of the faint aroma has me as like him as like Wolverine, where he's like getting into his car like, that's man love, bub.
Nothing about this is even necessarily male. Like, I mean, bow ties are maybe more
you know what? I
males,
think I have the solution on this. Whichever roles you guys want to take.
I can restate it.
Yeah, you restate, and I'll bring it. I'll bring her to a close.
All right, let's figure it out. God damn it! I hate that so much.
Hello.
Problem solvers.
So you're seeing ass prints on your car. You got bow ties hanging off the rear view mirror. You got the scent of pure man love, and you think there's some guys getting paid.
Ah, shit! Hold on, wait.
Problem solvers.
Shut up. All right, go ahead, keep going. And you think what?
And you think that some guys are getting paid to do it in your hood.
Yeah, you're a hate monger. Stop being a hate monger, you hate monger.
Wait outside with an air horn to scare them away like raccoons. That'll stop the man on man from going down on your Trans Am.
Problem solved.
Doesn't even rhyme.
I don't know, man on Trans Am. I bought that movie once. I mean, it was an experimental phase I was going through. All right, what else? One more, Justin. Let's do one more and we'll wrap things up.
All right. Man, I feel like we actually kind of... Oh, wait, hold on. I just saw one that just came in. About 5 months ago, I entered a romantic relationship, which is currently long distance, which with quite a significant time difference, as she is located in Europe until she graduates. We've been making it work. However, one of my European friends from Chat Realm has been playing video games with her while I'm asleep and has convinced himself that he's going to steal her away from me, even though she has shown no interest and quite dislikes it when he brings up his fetishes. How do I tell this guy to step off without ruining my friendship? Now, if you guys remember, a few weeks ago, we had the opposite side of this problem. We had a European who was babysitting his a European girlfriend of another chat realmer who was living in America. And now we have the American version that is writing us for help. So what I'm saying is that we are the winds batting this very ship back and forth, depending on where we want it.
All right, so wait, this is a real thing that's happening. This is like both sides of the same coin.
Well, we've gotten one side, and now we are giving advice to the other side.
I mean, okay. Well, first of all, I feel like to be consistent, I have to figure out who the characters are, and you don't have to tell me, but I feel like I need to figure out the code of who's who is who, because this is our first like full on chat realm triangle that we've been dealing with.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. These are the same people, right?
Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Knowing from what I know in like the information they submit, we are talking about the same situation. So we have an American who is long distance Skype dating somebody in Europe, but however, because of the radical time difference, the girl is up in hours that the guy in America is not, and so spends a lot of time with a European fan of our show, and now one has her. The other wants her, Or at
See,
least
all right,
that's
this is what
this side
happens. Okay, first for the record, this is what happens when your children start having sex. You want to know why there's an incest taboo is because it annoys the parents. And I feel like as the parents of Chat Realm, we need to say, all y'all, quit banging. Dad's trying to sleep over here. That's where my head is at.
No. You want them all to bang each other. Everybody's just
I'm
more
agree with Sarah.
relaxed and
Everybody
cool
bang
that
each
way.
all the time.
Yeah, all right. That's a good point.
If the chat room is not having sex with itself, what is it good for?
I mean, like, are we really turning them loose on normies? Like, is that?
So you're saying keep it in the family. I feel like you want to give the advice.
Oh yeah, nobody knows it better.
They're not hanging out here for their health, guys.
All right, so I'll tell you
Here's
what.
the problem. The American guy with the foreign girlfriend is a little nervous that his buddy over there in Europe is trying to steal away his girl. How do we want to divvy
I'll
this
tell you
up?
what. I'll take the restatement. I feel like that's the safest way to do it because I clearly don't have a popular opinion here.
I can solve the problem. Sarah, you want to bring her home?
Sure.
All right, let me do this. I'm going to go ahead and grab this number, and we'll get our lovely phone call sound effects coming up in 3, 2, 1. What?
Problem solver.
Hey, man, it sounds like you're worried about a European invasion.
This is what happens when you don't date American. Don't trust these slippery weirdos.
If all those fails, get on a plane, get over to Europe, and declare a trial by combat.
Problem solved.
It's not the same for it to end with like like a wilting flower at the end of the phone call.
I feel like we were like mandated by the court to get less aggressive sound effects for our call out to people and yell at them segment.
I don't know, but it felt so badass. It used to be like, click at the end. All right, is that it? Are we out of time or we got one more? Because I noticed that line 24 strikes me as a truly important issue.
I don't see a 24 actually.
You don't? Click that refresh, bro. It's from
it is hanging up on me. Do you want to? Yeah, I'll roll with you.
Yeah, sure. Well, line 24 here says her problem is I recently cut 5 inches off of my hair. Nobody has noticed. This makes me sad. Am I a real woman now? And I feel like the only person who could give us true advice would be Miss Sarah Lane, right?
This is a question from a woman?
Yes, it is. I mean, not that
Yes,
not that
I've
we
got
would
great
prejudge
advice.
and decide that mattered one way or the other, but yes, this does happen to be from a woman. Are you comfortable solving this problem?
Yes.
All right, then Justin, if you want to restate, I'll wrap it up.
All right.
All right, here we go. Here, listen to this phone call sound effect.
Hello.
Problem solvers.
You cut a bunch of inches off your hair and you're concerned that no one's noticed.
Here's what you do. You wear the sluttiest dress you can find. Ass is hanging out, the whole thing. You know what's going to happen? Some dude is going to say, hey, did you cut your hair?
Yeah, man, just because it ain't long, don't mean you're not going to get dong.
Problem solved.
And also, get a bow tie.
It's working for the street people.
Oh my God, Sarah Lane, thank you so much for joining us for Problem Solvers. That was freaking epic and amazing. You were everything we ever dared hope, as usual. What does everybody in the audience now owe their fealty to? Like, name one thing and everybody will jump on it.
I don't know. Just, like, what can I ask for?
Anything. You name it.
Anything at
whatever you
all?
want.
No, I don't.
Chat
want
realm is
anything.
your genie.
Besides enjoying my time here on Night Attack, you guys can find me at a variety of shows at twit.tv. If you watch already, thank you, or listen. If you don't, check us out. We talk about technology. It's really geeky stuff. It's super fun.
Right on. Dude, thank you so much, Sarah Lane. I'm going to drop you off right now. Justin, anything else before we wrap this segment up?
Man love. Smell it. It's in the air.
All right.
Do-do-do-do-do.
So long, Sarah Lane. Hey, man, do we have an actual sponsor who's paying us like corporate man dollars for us to...
Brian, I thought I told you we don't have sponsors on this show. We're renegades.
Well, I mean, you say that, and yet I feel like there are friendlies.
Renegades!
Oh, okay, I mean, listen, bro, you and I, we're renegades, right?
Fucking
When you-
corporate America comes up and says, "Excuse me, good sir, you should take my money and deliver my message to the public." And I go, fucking, I got 2 words for you, and they're both my middle finger emojis.
Okay, all right, but you're saying that, and yet I feel like you're about to describe a scenario where a friend of ours just asked us to say a message for money.
Fuck that. If fucking anybody ever came up to me with a bag full of money and say, "Compromise your morals," our connection to the audience for fucking cash, I'd be like, "Fuck you, pig. Fucking, we got standards."
Man, I feel like you are really committed to the purity of our message, and I feel like you would never allow outside influences of money to corrupt it, man. What do you... You know what? This is your platform, Justin. Now that you've made it clear that you only speak from the heart, and fuck you, corporate interests, you only... Like, talk to me. What does your heart want to talk about?
About the purity of one's inbox once they're a mail route customer.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It sounds like you're talking... Oh, man, this sounds a lot like an ad. I'm sorry. Keep going. What was that?
Did you say fucking ads?
No. I mean, you
How
sound...
about you add up these
I said...
1 middle finger.
I said
2 middle fingers. You
I
know
said-
what that equals? Suck a dog's dick.
I
That's what-
said you sound freaking bad is what I'm sorry if it sounded like I said the ad
Well, you
word.
want to know what else is bad? The prevalence of spam in an average American's life. And it's not only located in our country, it's internationally. Right now, botnets are working hard while you're sleeping to deliver spam into your inbox. And it's only something that can be stopped effectively by the services of MailRoute.
Man, this is just really, it just doesn't say, it sounds like this came out of nowhere. I mean, I don't know where.
I talk about this all the time.
You do? Like remind me when the last time we talked about this was.
No, I called you the other day, and I'm like, fucking Brian. Number one, because I have 2 things to talk about. This awesome blowjob I got, and mail route, and what a great service it is for only a meager amount of money.
I mean, like, you know what? Now that you say that, I do remember. First of all, it was like 2 a.m. I was like, well, how much money?
Well, it depends. Wait, are you talking about what I paid for the blowjob or for mail route?
No, I said, I don't know. This mail route thing sounds interesting. Is this tell me more?
Well, with mail route, it really just depends on how many licenses you'd like to get, which is the problem with much enterprise class
Justin,
spam filtering services.
It's 2 a.m. and you're calling me about spam services. I don't understand why.
Yeah, like I always do, because we're friends who talk about the things that are important in each other's lives. Brian.
Right. No, but I mean, okay, is couldn't wait? You couldn't wait till the morning to tell me about your spam filtering?
Fuck no, man. I told you, I have 2 things on my mind. The sweet fucking Hummer that I just fucking rocked my world, and mail route.
Man, it really sounds like you're wound up about mail route. Explain to me why they're great?
Fuck yeah, I'm wound up about mail route, and you should too by going to mailroute.net/nightattack.
mailroute.net/nightattack. Hey, that's the name of our show.
It is, which is why I happened to find it, because I was just looking on the internet for the word night attack, and it turns out they're fans of ours. And I said, you want to know what? I should learn more about your product and or service and then talk about it on the next show.
Man, it sounds like it would be good for our fans on Night Attack. Is there like a promo code people should use?
All you got to do is go to mailroute.net/night attack, and you can make sure that anytime that you spend money, they're going to arbitrarily give us some support and let us know that we're great because we're just random passing ships in the night.
Man, that's great that you, out of the heart of hearts, love MailRoute and that you're uncorruptible by corporate influenced money. That's amazing, Justin.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm sorry, Brian. I'm not a fucking sellout like you in scam school with your fucking...
End scene. Hey, man, there's a scientific revolution happening right now.
Listen, Brian, scientists are scrambling over the invention of numbers. As it turns out, numbers are able to quantify things.
No kidding. Well, clearly numbers are the secrets to all of society. Now, some people claim that just because one number goes up, that means another number goes up. For example, the lamestream media and their assertion that carbon dioxide causes temperature change.
Exactly, Brian. But what those dickheads don't realize is that everything does cause everything.
Oh my God, it does, really?
It does. You see a lot of these expert communists who are out here talking about how correlation does not always equal causation. Well, I got sour news for you, Jack. It fucking does. And we're here to prove it.
Yeah, man. On our highly rated scientific podcast, in which we had Nobel laureates who couldn't make it, the Weird Things podcast, it came to our attention that there's I think it's safe to say, the most significant scientific website in the entire universe.
Yes, it's called Spurious Correlations. It's Tyler Vegan. .com or .net, Brian? I can't see it.
It's .com, TYLERVIGEN.com, and he has put together. Let me tell you something, Pierce. You want to know the truth? The truth is that their correlation equals causality. Look at this. Let me show you these numbers here. Right here. U.S. spending on science, space, and technology happens to, and you tell me how this is an accident. It just so happens to correlate with suicides by hanging, strangulation, and suffocation. What do you say, Pierce?
Brian, this, and a lot of this has been going the rounds over the Facebook and Twitter today, this website, and people are saying, oh, look how ridiculous it is that not all these things connect. But, Brian, you and I know that they do connect.
Well, I mean,
right?
numbers don't lie. What are you saying? These numbers are lying? You saying these numbers were just pretending to go up in lockstep, side by side, as if they were holding hands as part of some kind of suicide pact?
It's very obvious that the U.S. spending on science, space, and technology has been influenced by suicides by hanging, strangulation, and suffocation. Because if there's less people, there's more money to spend on these things. Duh.
You know, this is a good point, Justin, because people, I'm really disturbed because people are blowing off this site as if it's nonsense, but I feel like every single one of these has a very natural explanation. In fact, I'm going to say that you and I can explain every single one of these correlations, and I invite people right now to, you're hearing it here first, go to tylervegan.com, TYLERVIGEN.com, and you can make your own correlation. And yes, they may feel silly or bizarre or weird while you're making it.
All have reasons, though, Brian.
And that's what we're here to do, is explain those reasons.
Is just go ahead and open your ears, peel back your eyelids, paint with all the colors of the wind, and make sure that you understand what the hell is going on.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Look, they're going to go in the chat room, and they're going to send us some links here in just a second here. But in the meantime, let's do this. For example, there's this chart here, which clearly you can see lockstep side by side with a little minor variance. You can see that the number of people who drowned by falling into a swimming pool correlates with the number of films Nicolas Cage appeared in. Now, I know most people, when they see this, they're going to think that it has something to do with suicide or people diving in or they love Nicolas Cage so much. I don't think so. I think that the more Nicolas Cage movies are out there, more excited and like pumped and adrenaline filled people are. And they're like, yeah, I really can do anything. If that guy can act, I could swim. And then some of them figure out that they can't.
See, I think, Brian, this is a very simple case. The more films Nick Cage is in, the hotter the world gets. And I mean in terms of star power.
So
This dude lights up the screen. He's an old school movie star, the likes of which we haven't seen since the great Cary Grant. And when he graces these silver screens across this great land of ours, people, they're just like, whoo, whoo. Is this a Nick Cage movie? Or is summer coming in? They jump in the swimming pool, and God bless them, some of them drown.
All right, that's a really good point. In fact, let me do this. First of all, I think you're right. Of the two of us, I think you have the more precise. I mean, not that my idea was necessarily bad, but we have our first chat realm submission here. The per capita consumption of sour cream in the United States seems to correlate with females in Wisconsin who slipped or tripped to their death. You want to walk me through this one?
Why do these involve death, Brian?
Well, why do they involve death?
A lot of them do. I'm just saying.
I mean,
it's just one of those things where
It's numbers. It's binary. You're either alive or dead.
It's always easier to talk about these jokes when there's death involved.
Look, man. I mean,
we're not here to be funny, Brian. We're not here to be funny.
No, we're here
nice.
to expose the truth, right? We're here to tell it like it actually is.
All right. So give me those. Give me that data again. I'm gonna.
All right. We're looking at per capita consumption of sour cream in the United States seems to correlate with exactly females in Wisconsin who slipped or tripped to their death. Now, I would say that the most obvious assertion is as America gets more, as they catch sour cream fever, as the scientists call it. Everybody's making sour cream. What are you going to do? You figure some number of them are going to drop their sour cream and some number of them are going to slip and trip to their death, right? Is that not the obvious reason for this, Justin?
Brian, I feel like Sherlock Holmes talking to Watson right now. Sure, that's brilliant deductive reasoning, but it's not anywhere near the correct answer of this. And to first understand the females in Wisconsin who slipped and tripped to their death and its connection to the per capita consumption of sour cream, you only need to understand the subculture of the Wisconsin lady and the cult of these slippy, dippy, silly Sallies.
I'm sorry. It sounds like you're bringing in an out of nowhere cult in order to explain a massive number of deaths.
No, Brian, it's not a massive cult. The Slippy Dippy Silly Sallies are just a bunch of fine ladies from Wisconsin who take sour cream. Again, this is consumption. This is not necessarily ingestion.
Okay.
They consume the sour cream by rubbing it under the soles of flat shoes so they can slip around the greater Wisconsin area. Some of them happen to slip and die.
This is amazing. So you're saying that like it's such a massive sweep into the Slippy Dippy something called
The Slippy Dippy Silly Sallies, Brian. Some fucking respect, please.
I'm sorry. Apparently, this is why you're in charge of this operation, sir.
I know you're going to be made a fool of right now because the chat room is going to fill up with pictures of the Slippy Dippy Silly Sallies going about their business throughout Wisconsin. At any moment, the pictures will start pouring in.
That's a good point. All right. Well, in the meantime, while you wait for the the Slippy Dippy Silly Sallies, let's do this. We have an inverse correlation, like 1-for-1 reversed. Take a look at this. This is the divorce rate in Texas inversely correlating with the total revenue generated by arcades in the United States. Are you? I think we all agree that basically once you get kicked out by your lady and you can't hump a lady, you hump an arcade, right?
So this is the rate going down.
Well, yeah, as the divorce rate in Texas goes down. Oh wait, yeah, it does. Yeah, the divorce rate in Texas is going down, so the total revenue generated by arcades goes up. Oh man, this is all backwards.
So as people are more happily married,
More miserably married, because we assume like they wanted to divorce, but for whatever reason they can't.
oh, Brian, do I have to explain all of this to you?
I'm sorry, sir, please walk me through it. Also, are you done with that cocaine? Because I would love whatever dregs are there on the side.
Brian, it really is embarrassing that I need to explain how marriages in Texas work to you.
I apologize, sir. It's just that I feel like you have a better grasp on all of this.
If I need to spell it out plainly, this can all be explained by the subculture of Texas marriages known only as cabinet humpers.
Cab humps, as we call them here in Texas, sir.
Humps don't lie, Brian, and they certainly don't deep in the heart of Texas. The stars at night are the only big and bright things that you might see in an arcade after hours. It also is the paste white asses of Texan couples banging each other on top of arcade machines to keep their marriages fresh.
So wait, you're saying this is all like a secret cult of married men who love to hump cabinets and need a marriage in order to hide their secret shame?
No, some Texan couples find things to maybe get a little plain in the bedroom.
Oh, so you're
What
saying...
better way to spice up your relationship than to bang your lady while a joystick from Galaga is up her butt?
Okay, so what you're saying is like we need to recognize that arcade games are marital aids. When it's like, it's like, hey baby, you want to do the outrun? And then she leans over on the steering wheel and you go to town or something like that, right?
It's just another example of the LGBTQ-bert community.
LGBTQ. All right, here's this one right. Well, this didn't take very long. Look at this. We already have people submitting photos of Brian and Justin as Sherlock Holmes and Watson. That is amazing. Right there in front of 221
come
Baker
on.
Street.
This is really, they come up to the 221 Baker Street and they knock on the door to find out why these things are correlating. You take a really good shot at it. I'm not saying you're an idiot, but when you really need the work, the master steps in.
Makes sense. All right, let's take a look at this. How about this? The number of lawyers in Kansas appears to correlate, and again, lockstep, with the money spent on admission to spectator sports in the United States. I would say to somebody less educated like me, sir, I would think that the more popular a dangerous sport like a monster truck rally or a roller derby would be, there would be more injuries and more people would need lawyers. That seems obvious, would it not, sir?
Yes, I suppose to the average man that would seem very obvious.
But
by the way, I just wanted everybody to know that was my best Neil deGrasse Tyson impression.
You forgot to say plebeian.
Plebeians.
All right.
This is very simply spelled out. Again, Brian, read off what these correlations are.
Again, it says the number of lawyers in Kansas correlates with the money spent on admission to spectator sports in the United States. And we have here, there are 7,000 lawyers. And 20, and then it goes to. Basically, they're kissing each other. All the numbers, all the way up.
Brian, to understand this, one only needs to have a very basic knowledge of the Bar Association subsection in the state of Kansas, known as the Bun Protectors.
I'm sorry, Mr. Robert Young. Please tell me about the Bun Protectors. I was unfamiliar, sir.
Well, you're familiar that many corporations, no matter where they reside in the United States, incorporate in states like Florida and Delaware, right?
Of course. It is more liberal policies they have, sir.
This is because the law favors corporations in those states, and it is therefore advantageous legally to incorporate there. The same is true for hot dog bun manufacturers in Kansas. An incorporation in Kansas is very important to them. For the old 1901 case ruling of Bun versus U.S., in which a hot dog bun was exonerated for the murder of William McKinley.
So I'm sorry, sir. You were saying about the bun murdering, you say? But it was a lawyer bun was murdering.
No. Bun was accused of murdering the president, and it was acquitted in court in a Kansas decision. Therefore, bun manufacturers continually register in Kansas, employing the lawyers that call that state home. Case closed.
I'm sorry, Mr. Yolmes, but are you 100% sure about this? You seem awfully confident.
Brian, I feel like we're gonna do one more, but when I come to an end, you need to play the Sherlock Holmes theme from the BBC at the end.
All right, I'm gonna find that. But all right, we'll do one more. How about this one? We've got here we go. Here's an inverse proportion between, get this, honey producing bee colonies in the United States inversely correlates with juvenile arrests for possession of marijuana. So as the number of juvenile arrests, or as honeybees go out, juvenile arrests for marijuana go up. Now, I would think that this would indicate that previous until this terrible bee collapse, I guess it would mean that people were getting high on bee honey. Is that right? I'm sorry.
Yes, high on bee honey. Plebeians. I'm sure if that was the only simplest connection you could make, that would make all the sense in the world to somebody who didn't have but the slightest knowledge of the stinger storks.
I'm sorry, the stinger storms. Is this another? It seems, Sherlock, like all of your theories have to do with groups of people with a particular fetish for a thing that makes trouble. It seems like you just everything's according to some kind of underground group. Young.
Don't mask your ignorance with my clear, brilliant deduction, Watson. I mean, Brian.
So again, it's another group that and what do these groups believe?
This is not a group, Brian. This is a simple fad.
A fad?
The stinger stork.
The stinger. I'm sorry, the stinger stork. What is that?
The stinger stork.
Which is?
Do me a favor, bring up that chart again and tell me in what year that it crossed.
Well, it looks like it started in 1990, and the trend crossed in mid-1993. I'd like to point out just before I went to college. Happened just as I graduated high school.
It was 1990 when the peak hit its fad. Stinger storking, in which young teenagers would flock to beehives only to pick the stingers out with tweezers, and then while standing on one leg, poke each other in the perineum.
Wow, that's amazing, dude. Who knew? It's truly amazing. This is not the right theme song.
1993, while the rice for Ross Perot's presidential run had finally hit home with America's youth, the bee colony collapsed, sending stinger storking into an all-time low, and marijuana usage, a secondary fad for these young boys, through the roof.
So wait.
Stinger storking.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the truth brought to you by none other. Oh, goddamn, that flourish with the penguins hat was the best.
Friends in the chat room, want to get hives?
I want to get hives. Holy shit, man. Well, I feel like we solved a lot of important stuff. You know, here's the thing. This is usually the part of the show where I'd say, hey, you want to do the movie draft minute? And I would mention that we would toss to a video from...
but we would not, because we have Diamond Time.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, you're right. But this is the part that I would say that, and that you would interrupt me and remind me that it's Diamond Time. And then I'd say that's right, which that is what's coming up. And I'm glad that all of that happened exactly as I have foreseen it. Let's walk through Diamond Time.
Foreseen that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Diamond Time, of course, is where we bring you all of the chat realm's best and brightest projects. I am going to bring up, Brian will now don his eyepiece and top hat, and I will as soon as, man, I'll tell you, I was actually looking at the schedule. I don't know when the next time I actually do like a show from my house is. I'm like on the road for the next billion different
I wouldn't know
Tuesdays.
what that's like, sir. I would imagine that's quite an exciting time, though.
It's like looking into the past for you, I might imagine. Okay, here we go. Our first Diamond Time is music by Stephen Cogswell. That is at Stephen Cogswell, COGSWELL.ca. I've made about 25 hours of mostly rock-style instrumental music over the past 5 years, and it's free to download. That is, again, Stephen Cogswell, that Canuck who makes awesome rock, mostly rock.
That Canuck who makes the ruck. That's what I say. Also, crap shoots pinched loaf. Here, let's listen. 18 lashes. Oh, shit, man. Shit doesn't fuck around. Just bent you over. This, by the way, is Crap Shoots Pinched Loaf.
Just in case you were wondering, what is the elegant title to this amazing rock masterpiece?
Right on. That's StephenCogswell.ca, man.
Absolutely. Our next one is Record Breakers, a podcast in which four friends gather around a virtual lunch table and share music with each other one at a time. That is recordbreakerspodcast.com. I don't know if we've had a music podcast on here before. We will just talk about music, but go ahead and check that out. That is recordbreakerspodcast.com. And finally...
Oh, by the way, I'm hearing out of the corner of my eye, and we'll see whether or not this is true, but people are saying that it's Petey Rave's podcast, if I'm hearing correctly.
Oh, crap. Well, then definitely. Go ahead and check that out. Petey Rave, the turntable slave, man. He is the best.
Don't call him a slave. That's not nice.
That's his word.
So we can't talk about it?
Yeah, that's what he calls. He's
the slave. Oh, there it is, Petey Rave.
Well, I'm not making hate stuff, could it be Hastings making me? What's time at a thing they kill or keep a fire or lose a living? I gotta go faster, keep up the pace, just to stay in.
I'll tell you what, man, the quality of stuff that Chat Realm puts out, these are some savvy motherfuckers. And I don't know, I wish I understood what it was about our horse shit that attracted them like moths to the flame to our idiocy.
Man, I'll tell you what, I'm continually amazed that, let's just say that the correlation does not equal the causation with us and
All right, that's good enough.
That's realistic, even for Gerb's Lock. Finally, I'll tell you, speaking of how amazing Chat Realm is, Chat Realm writes a movie is our final Diamond Time entry. Chat Realm wrote a best-selling book, but can we write an award-winning movie? I have no idea what this is. tiny.cc/chatrealmwrites.
ChatRealmWrites is what I assume I'm clicking on right here, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's just a doc. It goes straight to a doc, and it says Untitled by Chat Realm, and it just says the opening line is exterior, large city, night, and it's all blank. Like this is somebody using their Diamond Time to say, hey, motherfuckers, fucking make a movie. Go. This is amazing.
That is so good. That is so amazing. So there we go.
Like they don't have shit to sell or nothing. They're just like, no, seriously, assholes, make a movie. That's awesome.
Well, man, I guess we'll check back on that. I'll tell you, anybody's watching that, make sure to keep us informed. I'm sure it's already filling up right now with all sorts of amazing stuff. If you would like to have your project talked about here on the show, go to nightattack.tv/Diamond Time, DIAMONDTIME, to get your project in now. And I'll tell you what, we are on the second day that I first announced that Diamond Time was a thing.
Oh
so
my
it might
God,
be a little
really?
while, but we will do all of these forever. So
We'll get all of them. We'll get to all of them. In the meantime, I would like to do the movie draft minute, and unfortunately, I can't click play on anything. It turns out that I got no file from Blender MF. I got no information from Roberto Villegas. So I'm just gonna. I hired somebody to just sort of pretend to be Roberto. Is that cool? Like, apparently, like, it didn't come in. So all right, we're gonna have this guy sort of walk through as if he was Roberto Villegas. Mystery guest, are we ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, then take it away.
Welcome to your movie draft minute for the week of. Here we go. Wait, till
Oh,
music
wait, that's all right. That's all right. We're
Music,
good. We're
okay.
good. Wait, music coming in 3, 2, 1, and
Actually, unless it's not plugged in or something.
I don't know. I probably haven't plugged on the wrong thing.
Here, I'll get it going.
Oh no, wait! You have it on the same thing as your All right, here.
Here we go.
Here, I got it. I got it.
There we go. Welcome to your movie draft minute for the week of May 12th, 2014. I'm your host, Roberto Villegas. Holy crap, the movie draft minute is going live for the first time this year. It's actually kind of awesome. So let's go check out the scoreboard this time. Team Night Attack's in 6th place with $0, still waiting for their first film. Team Man Truckers in 5th place with $62.8 million. Team Morning Streams in 4th place with Neighbors bringing in $53.4 million a week, bringing their total to $81.3 million. Team God's Moneybags is in 3rd place with $135.7 million. Team Slash Films in 2nd place with $148.4 million. And still in 1st place, reigning supreme with $245.5 million. It's Team DTNS. And that is your movie draft minute for the week of May 12th, 2014.
Woo! All right, here, I'm gonna kill that.
I got it.
Boom, 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 boom.
I'll tell you what, that was a great. I mean, I don't know that. I mean, Gatewag's really been working on his Vincent 404 impression. That sounds
It
great.
sounded exactly like him, man. It was like he was right here with us, for sure. Can I confess something, Justin? I was not worried about our chances at all until this week because, number one, Neighbors just knocked out freaking The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So Slash Film spent $44 on a movie that made so far $148 million. Just got knocked out by a movie that Morning Stream bought for $53 million. I'm sorry, for $17, and has already made $53 million. Plus, the buzz is at an all-time high for Godzilla. I feel like there's every possibility that Morning Stream might walk away with this now.
You're crazy. No.
Okay.
No, they overspent on a couple. Like, even if because I don't know, Neighbors doesn't look like it's gonna do like 200, right? Like, no matter what,
it's gonna do $100 million, which makes it a steal at $17.
Yeah, no, I mean, a steal would be spending like 8 to 12 or something for 100. I feel like it is a rare good step for them, but like, what do they have left? They got a lot of just horse apples nonsense.
Yeah, okay, but tell me about Amtrekker $1 Million Arm. I've been seeing ads for this for a month straight, and I understand you use ads when you don't think your movie's going to make a lot of money, but $1 Million Arm has been advertised like crazy. I feel like there's no way $1 Million Arm is going to do less than $100 million, and Amtrekker spent $7 on it.
What's the last John Hamm movie that made $100 million?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, John Hamm, forget here. Let me go to IMDb. No.
Much like Tywin to Cersei, it doesn't matter whether it's in pounds or ounces. The answer is the same. There are none.
Okay, all right. Good point. Fair enough. Touche, sir.
So I mean, listen, I think it might be good. I'm with you that Godzilla's going to be a huge play because what did they spend? What did Morning Stream spend on Godzilla?
Dude, it was like 33. Yeah, 35. That's what they spent.
I mean, so they needed to be a hit. That's a horse for them.
That's their biggest stud.
Yeah, they need it to do like upwards of 250 million, right? Like, if not sniffing closer to 3. So that'll be interesting. The question is, where did Neighbors have a good first week, or does it have a hold audience? Which, as much as I hear that it's good and a lot of people want to go see it, I don't know if it's got tremendous word of mouth.
Well, it's coming up against. I mean, here's the thing: like Neighbors is sounds good and funny, and unfortunately, the first comedy that's going to come up against it is R Blended, which is an Adam Sandler freaking Drew Barrymore joint, which I don't know that we're going to be the ones to unseat Neighbors from their comedy throne.
I don't know. Neighbors to me seems like it's all young heat. Like it's all like it had a big opening weekend and it's going to fall off. Now I might eat my own words, but the thing about Godzilla is like the buzz is good on Godzilla in like our circles, but does the average person hear Godzilla and think, awesome, I need to go see that?
What you're saying is like if you want a precedent for Godzilla, basically look and see what Pacific Rim did, and Pacific Rim like barely cracked 100 million.
It's safe to say that this will fall somewhere between Pacific Rim and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay, all right. Which, by the way, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes looks so much better than I thought it was going to be. Like Grant, because it didn't have James Franco and all that stuff. Rise of the Planet of the Apes looks good to me. Like I'm excited about that. I'm bummed about our purchase of Edge of Tomorrow. Like they only just now started advertising it in web stuff, and I'm not liking the ads that I'm seeing. I feel like they're underplaying some of the mind-bending elements that, whether they're actual or not, that. Like, I suggested we buy Edge of Tomorrow thinking it had the chance to be an Inception surprise, and it's not looking like that to me. I'm not very optimistic.
I mean, the thing is, Inception was what it was financially because of a lot of reasons. It had the Dark Knight buzz to it. It had Leo, who's a bigger, more bankable actor at this point than Tom Cruise. And then it had it's the critics' choice and the people's choice, which outside of James Cameron very, very rarely happens. So I don't know. I mean, at this point, I liked Edge of Tomorrow because it was scratch and dent Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And I liked our draft because in a very uncertain years, at least we could name a star for every one of our movies.
Right.
But we shall see. I mean, Godzilla is going to be a very interesting play because I have a feeling that Godzilla will be more Pacific Rim than Planet of the Apes.
I totally agree with that. By the way, the Fixer just sent us a link to the Tomatometer. Yeah, before I show this to you, what do you think the critics' reviews are versus the audience reviews are? Give me a percentage for each.
I'm going to say Godzilla critically is 60% and audience is 80%.
Get this. Critically, 88%. Audience, 98%.
Oh, wow. So very well reviewed.
Right? I was unprepared for that.
Well, hey, listen, maybe it's going to be good. Maybe it's a crowd pleaser. I guess the question for me is that from a box office standpoint, I don't think that Godzilla equals interesting or quality for a broad audience like it does for us.
Chimera in the chat has a really good take on Edge of Tomorrow. He says that they started fucking up with the second trailer. The first trailer had Cruz with the man with questions. The second trailer had him as the man with answers. And I do see that. And I think that's why this second round of trailers really disappoints me.
Well, I mean, I think Edge of Tomorrow is going to do well based on what people think about, whether it looks like I guess the trailers kind of matter, but I think it's Tom Cruise and robots and is it going to be the right kind of movie when it's released? Yeah. Because I'll tell you what, there's been a lot less carnage this year than there was last year. I feel like last year around this time we were already getting the world had been destroyed 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, look, I guess we'll wrap up this episode of Night Attack. God damn, man, we had a weird start, but I'm so glad everything came together. Took us a little bit to get Sarah Lane on the phone. I'm glad it wasn't my fault. But man, when she came on, it was freaking electricity. As always, thank you to all of our faithful patrons. Justin, you got anything else you want to say before we wrap things up?
Everybody, head on over to the Diamond Club Reddit, reddit.com/r/Diamond Club.
Let me head on over there. And specifically, this was, and I don't think this is too much retreading of bullshit that you've heard before, but surprising to none of us is that obviously Justin and I had a lot of discussions about where shit was headed after we had our meltdown a couple weeks ago, but it was really, really inspiring and awesome to go and see authentic feedback from you guys at reddit.com/r/Diamond Club. And also, soul crushing as well, but it was honest, and that's all that matters. That's freaking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. Really is a super cool. I spent a lot of time there. It's amazing how much I really enjoy Reddit when I actually found one that revolves around me.
Is that all you ask for out of your social media?
I mean, it's just amazing how much more I care about Reddit when that's why I go there. But I mean, in all seriousness, it's become a really cool way that we can connect with a lot of fans that are not. We tend to, I think, on this show. Focus very heavily. We have on the live viewers and specifically on Facebook and Twitter followers. And Reddit is such a different cross section of a crowd that is equally passionate. But a lot of times, I mean, like it's given me so many more perspectives on stuff, including there was somebody who was like, "Hey, listen, like I'm a UK listener, and it kind of feels like sometimes we're it's like fuck you guys because." You're so focused on the live stuff, and I just can't do it because I actually have a job.
Well, and actually, I don't want to promise this yet, but one of the things we talked about was doing a UK special where we match the exact time that we usually do the show, only it's the right time for the UK, and all of the US has to deal with it at 1:00 in the afternoon or whatever. But one of the whole reasons that you mentioned Diamond Club Reddit is because we have a new, contest to announce?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a contest, but it's just something that we've always done. Whenever we've had, if you can see my T-shirt right here, was a couple years ago. This is our Diamond Club, our graffiti diamond that we had for our Diamond Club T-shirts that we sold at Dragon Con. We wound up doing 2 shirts last year, which I think was a mistake. We did one that was very specific to Nerdtacular and one that was very specific to Dragon Con. And I think me and Brian both agreed that this year, let's just go back to the super simple, just an awesome looking diamond on as many different colored shirts as possible. Because one of the big complaints we got was that people just like to buy 5 shirts because they like how the diamond looks.
Right.
And
So the idea is instead of tying something into an event, instead of tying it to a particular, for example, the Nerdtacular shirt was a fusion of the Nerdtacular design with the Diamond Club logo. The Dragon Con shirt happened to be tied into one particular joke, neither of which resonated as well as that iconic Diamond Club logo. So let's just say that the new thing is let's do 1 T-shirt per year. Let's come up with the 2014 T-shirt. Let's make it totally simple, line art, black and white, something that's a single color design that could go on a bunch of different T-shirts. And let's vote it up over at reddit.com/r/Diamond Club. And you'll see there's a thread by Justin that says we need a new Diamond Club logo, and you can jump in on that. And that'll be the official one for the rest of the year. And we know you guys are super, super talented. We want you guys to come up with what you love most, and we, of course, will back your play.
So there we go. Just go ahead and submit it there, and then we can at the very least guarantee that the person for whom the design in which we choose will get every version of the shirt that exists.
Absolutely. We could definitely do that. Son of a bitch, Justin, I can't believe we did it. It's still working. Did you notice that we're still aloft?
Yes.
We're flying. We're still flying.
You're doing it, Peter. You're doing it.
Hey, so I had a conversation with a guy about the upcoming thing, and I suggested that I needed to preserve the space. And the guy said that legally he couldn't guarantee that we would preserve the space, but that it seemed like there's no reason that it couldn't happen.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think it should happen 10 times over.
Whatever that means. Do me a favor, beautiful people. See you next Tuesday.
Night of fire.
Justin Robert Young. Every time you go, I wanna shave my face off and leave it lying bloody in the snow. Night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack, night